All right, so let me do this again.
All right.
So here we go. We got a little sit down and chat with you guys right now from the truck. Little bit of a different setting. Usually we're in the warehouse, but it's raining right now. We're gonna do it outside. But just gonna talk about the topic of kind of scaling a business, going through all those kind of the ups and downs of it. You guys had some questions, so we'll just quickly go through some of them.
The ups and downs, the ins and outs.
This one doesn't have as much to do with scaling, but how close have you been to killing each other?
I think we've been pretty close. I'd say about 2 out of the 5 work days a week, we're pretty close to cutting each other's throats. But
Usually just have to stay out of each other's way.
we resisted the temptation.
For the most part.
Yeah.
What is our favorite or the most successful deal we've run so far?
I'd say Black Friday is always a really big.
Yeah, Black Friday's I always say it's everybody's Super Bowl in retail.
It's a blowout. I remember last year Black Friday, and this year's gonna be crazier because we have marketing money behind it. Last year was just all organic. Me and Preston, it was 11 p.m. that night, and it hits the clock, the code goes live, and it was just we had notifications on. It was like ding 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 ding.
You almost don't want to sell out your whole warehouse though, because you still want inventory for after Black Friday to still be consistent. Plus, if you do 30 times the volume you do on a regular day, you have to bring in people months out, train them, pay them during training, and then just have them there. So a lot of companies are kind of switching it to I think breaking up their Black Friday sales a little bit and trying to space them out a little.
As good as Black Friday is for bringing in revenue and driving sales, I actually don't like Black Friday because of how much it just messes everything up.
Yeah.
You gotta think you have to put a shitload of production orders in 12 weeks out to prepare for Black Friday, and then you have to put another round of production orders in to anticipate selling out of everything. So you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars up front on product you don't have. Black Friday, you sell out of almost everything, and you have the possibility of waiting up to 10 to 12 weeks to replenish inventory. If it's sometimes hard to predict what you're going to do on Black Friday. So if you do more than you thought, you just screwed yourself for the next 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, one of the best things, or most companies want, is just consistency in sales and everything. So you can see when to order stuff, anticipating everything, and it's just but then Black Friday, it's just that variation that just causes everything to go haywire. So if you got to kind of estimate it to what it might be, and don't want to get that estimation completely wrong.
My favorite, there's always an argument to that from someone. Usually it's well, here's how you fix your problem. You order more inventory up front, 12 weeks out. You spend, it's unless you run and operated a business and understand cash flow and sales and generating traffic and selling, you can't really understand how to prepare for something like this, because it's more than just, hey, let's buy some more inventory up front so we sell it later. Well, yeah, that might cost you $2 million to do that. So
yeah, it's all about, especially an organic company, you're careful with your cash. Once you have an idea in business, do you start saving money for a product and marketing, or do you take out a loan? I guess it depends on what you're trying to do. Some people don't, prefer loans. A lot of people end up taking a loan out, especially if you're in the restaurant industry or anything like that. Most of those people always have to take out loans to get in the restaurant business, because I feel it's usually a cook or something getting into it, so they don't have all that money saved up.
If you're just starting a business and you have, some people need to take a loan out to start their business. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people have to do that to generate or have a bank of money it takes money to make money. So sometimes you have to take a loan out. Sometimes you can grow organically. We took a small loan out in the beginning, grew organically, and everyone's well, just open an eBay shop and sell things on eBay until you make enough money. Well, that could take you your whole lifetime. So sometimes a loan is necessary to start a business.
Yeah, especially retail shops and things like that. Why you see them probably go out of business all the time that go in, they probably don't anticipate their cash flow enough. So it's take out the loan for all the inventory, but then it's like a month or two goes by and they don't have the sales coming in, so they're already out of cash and they have to go out of business. How do you forecast future growth for your company? It seems like we're growing pretty well. It's been easier to forecast inventory and production orders, I feel like.
We've been on top of it pretty much, but we've been placing larger production orders more frequently. When we first started, we were ordering 1,000 units of each product at a time, and that would take us a decent amount of time to sell through. Now we order every flavor at 2,500 units. So we're kind of maximizing our inventory in our warehouse right now.
Yeah, because the hardest part was like 2 years ago was when we could only bring in like 1,000 units and then it would sell out so quick, and then we were always behind the ball and being out of stock and everything like that. So, and that was just like a money game too, not having enough cash to buy those huge quantities. So it's just like going through those struggles then to get to where we are now.
The struggle makes you appreciate every aspect of it, though. I was listening to a podcast recently, and it was like every time someone's in a bad situation or there's a struggle, they automatically shut off and just resort to like escaping that. But when you're struggling, that's when you really learn how to grow. And that's when you really learn how to appreciate when you're not struggling. So all the things we learned while we weren't making much money, cash flow was tight, has paid off dividends now in the long run when we make these bigger decisions.
Mm-hmm. When first starting a business, how should one go about finding a specific target audience and that would make your product marketable? With you, like everything we were talking about just fell into place. Like you were in the Army, so you showed stuff in the Army. Now to this day, like a lot of our audience is like military. So kind of just like, it's not like right away you were like, we're going to target the military.
Oh, just fell into place.
It all, yeah, from your videos and everything like that, and from there.
You need a target audience, though. No matter what your business is, your product, your service, you need a target audience. Your audience is never everybody.
Yeah.
You need to have these small niches.
Especially like the supplement industry where there's a ton of different companies. Like everyone tries to find their niche, kind of. Ours, I guess, would be military.
It started military, but I'd say we just have a clean, like our line, the way our labels are designed, and the way we promote, the way our site is set up. It's all very clean, very structured. Nothing too flashy, but it's just a modern professional.
My stomach hurts. Been on the pot a lot lately.
What kind of pot?
On the toilet, not the green pot.
Let's make sure we specify that.
What are some of the other tasks you, as in Preston, do other than pack orders and manage inventory? I still do orders and stuff like that, but I manage all the customer service, so it's probably like a 50-50 split in desk and computer work, and then being back in the warehouse. So I'll do anything from customer service for both the companies, Loss and BPN, wholesale, sales, manage the Amazon stuff. What else do I do? Inventory control, reports, everything like that.
Something we talked about this past week was my goal is in the next couple of months to have Preston not packing at all anymore. So he only packs for a few hours a day now. Right now, John's packing orders in the warehouse. My goal in the next couple of months is for Preston to hire more people to pack, and he manages those people.
Yeah, I'm kind of just filling in right now a little bit of everything, just because until you get to that point where it's like our consistency's almost there, but like it's still to the point where I can go in and kind of get stuff done and kind of handle all the operations on a day-to-day with an assistant like John. But until it gets to that point, then I'll start handing off and delegating different responsibilities to other people, and then kind of just managing all the operations. So hopefully one day we get like 10 people under me. Is it hard to make money in t-shirt business? You got to sell a lot of shirts?
Yeah, you got to sell a lot of shirts.
Sell a lot of t-shirts.
The thing with apparel as opposed to supplements, we learned a lot of things along the way. But one thing we did learn and realize is that a lot of decisions we made along the way, just by accident or like by chance, we made the right decisions. Like supplements, commodity. Apparel, for example, you can't have the same t-shirt that you sell for like 20 years.
They're they're the same, they're both retail, but they're completely different because supplements is replenishment, and buy, so you're buying the same product every time, and then and people keep rebuying the same thing. And then in clothing, it's like you buy a shirt and you're gonna have that almost forever. You got a burp. And then you got to come out with new designs, and then there's different variations of the same shirt. So extra small, small, medium, large, XL. So it's a completely different game.
It's so different.
So, and you have to definitely forecast which sizes sell the best and everything. How do you track inventory and know when to order? Well, how do we track inventory? We use Shopify, our website, which is definitely pretty good. And that tracks it pretty simply because we don't have a ton of variation in there. It's not like we're a bodybuilding.com where we have 80,000 different products.
I don't know how.
That's tough because you'll have people in the warehouse running for the order, and then putting it usually in a bin, and then having a bin for the packers. It's a lot of people moving in different directions just with all the variation when you're a site with all those different products. Amazon, it's crazy. They have people on bikes now in their warehouse riding bike to fetch orders and stuff for the packers. It's definitely interesting to see.
I'm buzzing hard off this flight right now. About to work out after this.
While you were in Korea, what were some of the challenges of kind of building the business? It was about 2 years ago, I think?
Yeah, 2 years ago. BPN was smaller then, so I'd say the challenges, for one, I was 14-hour time difference to talking and working with manufacturers. I didn't have complete control of inventory because it was in Pennsylvania and in Texas at 2 different times. But we had such a small amount of inventory that
doing it out of the house.
Doing it out of the house, it really wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I'd say that just growing and scaling and trying to reach an audience, that's the hardest part. Is when you grow a company or you build a company, it's building that trust, that relationship with a customer base. You could have 1 million followers and you come out with a product and it could tank really hard because there's no transparency, there's no trust, there's no personality, there's no brand awareness. There's a lot behind it. It takes a long time to build a solid brand, a very solid brand image. BPN now has been around for 6 years. We have the trust, we have the validity and credibility behind reviews. I mean, we have almost 4,000 reviews on our site.
I like what Andy Frisella always brings up about new companies that advertise on the Super Bowl commercials. It's there'll be these new companies that no one really knows, and then they'll advertise on the Super Bowl thinking they're gonna hit it big with all these sales, and it's that's not how it goes at all. It's people don't have that trust in them yet or anything like that, or it just takes time to build that trust and get that brand recognition, and for people to go out and tell each other and recommend this brand to other people. So it's kind of just one of those things that builds up over time.
I think I'll always remember this comment. It was on a YouTube video, and someone was like, well, Nick's channel, they show the behind the scenes of the business growing so much more, but Nick's channel isn't growing that much and his views aren't changing that much. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That means the business is growing without my personal brand growing, which is exactly what I want. I would dedicate, if there were 24 hours in a day like there are, I would dedicate 23 hours to BPN and 1 hour to Nick Bear. Just because BPN is the future. It's where we want to put all of our time, our commitment. It's where the money is made. We want BPN to grow and stand alone as a brand without the vlog, without me, and that's what it's doing right now. It's growing on its own through word of mouth, through brand awareness, through marketing, and it just takes time. It took 6 years to get to this point, which a lot of people don't realize.
It'll be interesting to see in the next 6 years, where it could be, and it's just I think where other people are saying it always too, millennials, our generation is super entrepreneurial, but they're not patient enough, and they need it within a year or two. And I think that's why a lot of people stop there. But even these people with huge followings don't follow through with their businesses and stuff just because they don't see the success right away.
Yep.
And it's just taking time. You're gonna have some off months, just as long as you're growing year over year, and it's gonna take years. We know it's gonna still take more years than this to get where we want to go.
Last year at this time, we thought we were killing it. This year, we're doing twice as much as we were doing last year this time. And we look back and it's humbling because in the beginning you start off, you think you know everything. And you get punched in the dick because you realize you don't know everything. And then you become humble and realize, all right, I need to learn all this stuff. I'm not an expert yet, which is a problem in the fitness industry alone, is everyone thinks they're an expert in everything. It's just admitting what you don't know, learning what you don't know, investing in yourself, and the results will show. the results will show.
For sure, for sure. Well, we'll wrap it up. I'm gonna get in there for a lift right now. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you in the next one.